Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. This is a kind reminder that this is an unfiltered podcast that just might cause you to be inspired and possibly change your life. It also might contain strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you for tuning in. Run the episode.
Let's go, baby.
Turn this up. We're back. Episode 4. First, let's go get the guest.
Oh my god.
Where are you rolling, brother?
How we doing? What's up, Grayson? Looking good. You told me you were gonna drop the suit, man. You look fresh. I'm glad I tried.
Welcome to the crib. All right, here we go. Episode 4. Andrew Fox, make some noise. Welcome on, brother.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
We just met
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. Although it feels like I've known you, and it literally felt like I know you. And then
I felt the same way. I think I've seen a lot of your stuff on Instagram, and like we've been mutual for like we have a lot of mutual friends, and like we went to the same high school at the same time, and so I feel like this was bound to happen. Maybe not like bound to happen on a podcast, but it was bound to happen eventually. So
it was.
To capture it on film, you guys will see the clip. It happened in the driveway. It was magical. But
dude,
yeah.
but I'm glad you're here, bro, and excited to talk about your life, what you've done. You've done some cool shit.
I like to think that.
Yeah, you have, and yeah, I'm excited to learn more about you because I don't know that much about you, as I just said, just met you. So
Heck yeah.
but you were one of the reasons I first heard about you is because I would just hear Andrew Fox, guy on the Netflix show. He was on the Netflix show. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I feel like that's especially in this area. That's what I get a lot is, oh, you're that guy on the Netflix show, or
and which one are they normally referring to?
Daybreak. Know? Daybreak is the one that they're referring to. That's the only Netflix show I've worked on. I mean, I've worked on some other shows that have been on Netflix, like Henry Danger.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought it was from Henry Danger.
No, but I was on a Netflix original. That's actually what led me to drop out of high school. Was
so you
Netflix show.
You dropped out of high school?
Yeah, so I went to junior year at the Woodlands, and I dropped out because the attendance policy at the Woodlands was super strict, and so I was filming in New Mexico, and yeah, I was just getting not good grades, not good at all. I wasn't able to keep up with the workload. I wasn't able to show up to class, and so I was just tanking. But when I lived in Los Angeles, I had my GED already because they have this exam for, it's people who either want to join the military or child actors. And so when you're in Los Angeles and you want to work on a production, you only get a certain amount of hours. It's like, I think it's 8 hours as a child actor. You get 8 hours on set. 3 hours has to be dedicated to school. They have a teacher on set teaching you school. And then there's like break times, all that. Whoa. It's super regulated for like having talent on set. And it gets even worse the younger people get. So like babies can only be on set, like filming on the set for like 20 minutes out of the day. So like,
wait, did they get how does the money work with minors?
So we'll get into that. There's a whole structure that they have because I think it was Macaulay Culkin. His parents had ended up taking a lot of his money, and so I'm not sure the exact scenario, but they've since put like rules and stuff in place that stop parents from taking from talent, especially when they're younger. But so I took this test in LA that allowed me to get my GED early, but I took it because it allowed me to work 12 hours on set as a full-time adult. So I didn't have to do any it was basically like it removes all the regulations. So I was a more likely candidate to be hired for all the roles I was going for. After you dropped out of high school? No, before. So I still remained in school. I took the test, I passed, I was a sophomore in high school, and I remained in high school because I didn't really have anything that would have led me to need to drop out or anything like that. And I was still doing small productions for like Cartoon Network, all this type of stuff. And so, yeah, when I moved to the Woodlands, I booked that Netflix show, and I was already using, I booked Daybreak. And I was already using my CHESP is what it's called. That's what that test is called. But I was already using that to work more hours on set. And so, yeah, it was junior year, and I needed to get out of school just to be able to make sure that I didn't have a flunking transcript. And so I just took my GED, dropped out of the Woodlands, and went to community college instead after I filmed the Netflix show. So it enabled me to basically just skip senior year of high school for basically nothing. And so, yeah, that's kind of how that went for me.
Bro, I honestly, I didn't know that, but I knew that I like never knew where you went to high school. I didn't know that you dropped out of high school. That's insane.
Yeah, so I only went
high
to
school
the Woodlands for
That's the next level of a college. But then you went to college.
Yeah, so I took my GED. I didn't want to give up on a formal education. I think even as an actor, like I wasn't going to study acting. I think that's kind of ridiculous. Just to be blunt, I think if you're going to go spend thousands of dollars, get a degree that will apply to a career field in case acting fails, So that's what I did. I went to Lone Star, did 2 years there at community college, got my associate's degree, went to Texas State after that, and I just recently graduated with my bachelor's in electronic media. So I know you're great friends with Max, and
Yeah.
he dropped out and everything like that,
Yeah.
and it seems to be working for him. But I just needed to get my degree. Now I have it in my back pocket, and now I'm basically like ready to go. You know what I mean? No obligations.
My parents are
no
gonna
nothing.
play this clip right now for me. Being like, see, look at this smart young man next to you.
I mean, it goes both ways. I definitely see the merit in dropping out for some people, but then again, I think some people need the structure and stability of like a formal education to get them to the point where once they have their degree, they can go venture out and do what they really, really want and try to make as much money doing it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just my philosophy on it, at least.
That's
It goes
dope,
both
bro.
ways.
So
you know?
you finished how long ago?
Just this past, it was May 2023, May 11th.
And are you still acting?
So it's kind of slow right now, especially I don't know if you're in the loop or anything with like the writer strike or like the actor strike.
Yeah,
I'm
a
sure.
little bit.
So I especially on my
aunt's
feed,
an
I know.
actress, actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is
But
she with affiliated with SAG? Do you know what that is?
No, I
it's
don't
the
know.
Screen Actors Guild. It's like the union that you join, like when you have enough like SAG credits once you
Okay.
like act on enough things. So
I don't know. I also, one of my roommates in college, his dad is a writer in LA, and I heard about the writer strike.
Yeah.
So that's how I know about that.
yeah, so it's super slow right now. But I have agents that are like working for me as well as like a database of the talent that they have, and they send me auditions like basically via email. They just send me like, hey, we have an audition for you to do by this date. Here's the lines. Here's the character, and so yeah, they come in. I basically just take a look at the breakdown, read the lines, memorize them, and then just like give them my best shot, and then send. Basically now it's like this. I just send them a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so it's an all over video?
When I lived in LA, it
Yeah.
was mainly in person, and that's one of the things that right now I'm lacking is that in person work because I can show up for small gigs here and there if I was in
Yeah.
LA. So I'm missing out on a lot of those, but right now I think with the place I'm at in life, like I said, I was pursuing a formal education, so I got that, and yeah, and LA is too expensive right now, so I'm not looking to move to LA anytime soon.
Yeah. LA's. I was actually gonna go this summer. I really want to go. I met a bunch of people at college from LA. All my
Really?
roommates from LA. Yeah, I really want to go though. But so, would you ever move to LA?
Yeah, definitely when I can afford it. I just think right now it's not it's a great place to visit, bad place to live. I think it's just personally it's way too expensive, especially when you compare it to like places like Austin or.
So you're a brokey?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't like spending unnecessary funds. I'm very cautious
Oh,
with where I
unnecessary.
put my money.
What if you had unlimited money?
Oh, then I'd live in LA, 100%.
Okay.
I'd live in LA with a nice house and probably on top of one of the hills.
So
There's
money is stopping you from going to LA.
Yeah, essentially unlimited funds is stopping me
Yeah.
from going to LA.
Yeah.
Yes, but also I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not just LA is unattractive in more areas other than just the living expenses because there's a huge homeless crisis in LA
Yeah.
and there's so many problems. I don't particularly agree with all of the politics in LA. I think some of them are kind of asinine. But then again, I also disagree with a lot of Texas politics. I think some of those are kind of asinine as well. So it kind of goes both ways. But yeah, LA, I just think, frankly, I think it's a bit of a gross pool of people.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I haven't even been, so.
Really?
Yep.
You should go to visit. It's a
Yeah.
really fun place to visit, and all the people are super super cool there. Like everyone's super laid back. There's a lot of people that are only in LA to attain a certain level of like status and try to put themselves out there like that. So you'll definitely see some of those. But
So
for the most part,
interesting.
it's a great place. Go see the pier. Go travel the
Yeah,
mountains. Go
I want
cliff
to.
jumping. Go do all that stuff, dude. It's super fun.
Yeah, I was gonna go backpacking this summer. Fell through. But,
Now you get
Next
to do it in
year.
Asia though.
yeah, exactly.
That's way cooler.
Wait, so when was your first gig acting? What age?
Oh my lord! I think I was 11 years
know?
old. Yeah. So you know those commercials that you hear that are like, "Do you want to be on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon?" I don't know. I heard them a lot when I was
Oh,
like,
commercials to come and act
like you hear them on the
on-
radio type of thing. They're like,
Oh,
do you
bro,
want to
no.
be a child actor? Do you want to be? So I heard one of those when I was like 10 or 11, and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I do want to do that. That sounds like something
Wow.
I've always wanted to do.
And what'd your parents say?
So they gave me a shot, you know. I was 10 years old and I had a lot of ambition and I told them that I wanted to do it. And originally it was me and my younger brother. We both went and did this which I'll be honest, those are scams. That's how they work. Is they prey on your dreams and hopes of being famous. Not famous necessarily, but
Wait, what?
at
Talent?
least for me, like these radio ads that are like, "Hey, we want you to come audition for us, and we have a talent network, and we'll get you on these shows and stuff like that." Typically, what they'll do is they'll bring out some like D-list or E-list celebrity, like someone you've seen from one episode of a really big show, and they'll say, "They're with us." And so it's like, wow, I've seen her on TV before. They must be legit. And so you go, and then you audition. They're like, "Well, we love you. We want to represent you. It costs $10,000 to join." And that's how that works. And so I went through one of those, and my parents got scammed, basically. Well, yeah, they got scammed.
Whoa,
and
$10,000?
I don't know the exact amount, but I know it was damn near close to at least seven, I would say.
Wow.
So it's a multiple
and 10 years
four-figure
ago.
investment. Yeah, and so like yeah, you think about like inflation and all that. It's a little bit more than it would be today, I think. Or wait, how does that work? It would be.
No, it'd be worth more.
Yes, exactly. Either way, it's worthless is my point.
Yeah.
Those things are worthless. But through that, I found a local agency and I was represented through them. Got started. I did a talent show in New York and I did really, really well for like my age group, specifically people who didn't want to model but wanted to do acting and like commercial work.
This was before you're 11.
That's when I'm 10. That's when I'm 10 years old. I was
On
doing
the come up.
Yeah, it's called IMTA, the International Models and Talent Association. They hold 2 events each year. One of them's in New York, one of them's in LA. And I did the New York one. Like I said, I did pretty good. I think I got 3rd place overall, which I don't know how they base the ranking system. But basically, you go, you perform in front of like hundreds of agents. And so a lot of talent recruiters go to these events to find like diamonds in the rough type of thing. And so I found my manager through there. His name is Steven, and I've been with Steven ever since. And so, yeah, I think he told me when I was 10, he was like, if you're going to do anything, you need to be in like where it's happening. You need to be in Los Angeles. And so my parents took that, they packed up, we moved, and we went. And it was a long process too. It was like a 2-3 year process. I know for a while I was with my dad by myself out in LA.
Wow.
And my brother and my mom were still out here. And so it was just me and my dad literally just soloing it. I think I was transferring into online school, but that process took over a year and a half to do. So I was like in 7th grade, 0 schooling, just going to auditions, just killing it, trying to like make a name for myself.
Yeah.
And the first gig, I know that was your question. I'm sorry, I went through whole thing just to get to this.
Good. It's interesting backstory to how all this happens.
Yeah. So after a while, I think it was this first gig. It was a student film because they have a lot of film schools out in LA as well. And so a lot of the gigs that I did when I was like, I want to say 11 through 13 were student films. And that's because I was eager to do any project, but I was also not like well known enough to work on super big things yet. And so it's really fun for me, it was like, I just need to work on anything I can. And I had never worked on a movie set before, so I didn't know what a scale project looks like a Netflix project versus like a student film project. And so there was this guy, his name was Giovanni, he was a senior. Now that I think about it, he was my age when he was doing this. And so he hired me. It wasn't paid or anything. A lot of these student films weren't paid or anything like that. And so it was called It's What's for Dinner, and it was a horror movie, and I was the lead. It was a short horror film, and I was the lead in it.
This is the first one?
Yes, this is my first gig. And, oh no, that's my second gig actually. That was my first lead gig. My first gig was really small. I think it was called, it was another student film. I can't remember the name.
How much would you get paid for a student film to be a?
Some of them like $300 to $400.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Some of those were like the really big ones where like they had like I'd be shooting for weeks and I was like one of the main characters and stuff. So but even still $300-400 is not that much, especially considering like pay scale like nowadays. I think SAG actors today, I don't know what the exact rate is, but they make at least a couple $100 a day. You know, like just being on set. And so like you just put it like this, like you go. So when I was filming Daybreak, you go. I was in New Mexico for, I think originally it was supposed to be a month and a half, and they just extended it into, I would fly back home for 2 weeks, and they'd fly me back out again because they need to film more stuff. And so I ended up being out there for like 3 months, you know, and like every day you're working, you're getting a pretty solid paycheck. And so.
Was it fun?
It's great.
Oh, it is. Okay, I thought you were going to say it kind of sucked.
No, it was awesome. I was a 17-year-old kid, got to drop out of high school. Like I was on top of the moon.
Wow. Wait, I just asked because I'm curious to know, how much money are you making? Are you getting paid by the day?
So when you're on set, yes, you get paid by the day.
As far as you know, because you definitely know more than me, like Hollywood in general. because I feel that so many rappers and singers, or when they talk about the music industry or Hollywood movies, it all seems so like rigid and
It is
cutthroat.
It is extremely rigid and cutthroat.
And like, I don't know, kind of like.
I don't know much about the music industry, but the acting industry definitely is very rigid and cutthroat. And if you don't listen, you don't work. That's basically how it is. You know what I mean? Like you have to do, and at the same time though, actors are some of the most extremely accommodated people in any workplace ever. Like they constantly have snacks. They'll cater to what food you want.
Yeah.
You get free lunches. Like you basically get to call your own shots. But at the end of the day, like when I'm on a set, I like to be as accommodating to the set as possible. I'm really easygoing. I don't need much. I don't have any dietary restrictions. Not even that type of stuff. But like just in general, I'll be really uncomfortable for the sake of like getting the production done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've done that before. Like I remember not too long ago, the last thing I worked on was a vampire movie. It's called Blood Relatives, and it's on. Oh wow! Now I feel bad. I can't even remember the streaming platform, but it's a horror movie streaming platform.
Big horror movie guy.
Yes. This one was more of a comedy vampire movie, but I remember just being. I was spoiler alert. I die. But I remember in my dead scene, I was like laying out on this hay bale, like and all of my limbs had fallen asleep, and they're like, just don't move, it's like so perfect. And they're like putting more blood on me, and I'm like, literally like, I'm like, damn, am I just gonna like lose circulation in like all of my limbs right now, like that type of thing? But which is fine, because like you get through it, and then you're done, and you get paid, and you look cool. You're dead, then you're in a movie.
Have you been dead before? In a movie?
Yeah, I've died actually. Plenty of times in film. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of horror movies you've been on?
Yeah, actually, I think at least 4 off the top of my head. None of them any like super big projects, but
how many things have you been in total? But how do you answer that? Because I guess some are movies, some are short films.
Some are commercials, some are TV shows, some are
like hundreds.
I mean? Yeah, somewhere in the
my God.
Yeah,
dude, I'm gonna be honest. I had I did know that because like a day and a half ago, me and James Schillinger, James Schillinger? Yeah, we pulled up like your what do you call it?
IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I figured.
My aunt has one too, so I don't know what they're called. Like a highlight tape of an actor. Yeah.
Oh, the reel? Yeah.
That we watched and we were just like shocked at how many things you were in.
Yeah.
The funniest one, I'm definitely, it's like the one with when you're like a kid smoking out of the bong.
Oh yeah, that was
dude,
Comedy
that was
Central,
so
dude.
funny, bro.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That I had no idea.
Because you look so young.
Yeah, I think I was 13 or 12. And I remember auditioning for that and then meeting the comedian D'Angelo, something like that. But yeah, they basically give comedians like a 3-episode special on Comedy Central, right? It's like a pilot. Do you know what a pilot is? A pilot episode of a show. So it's like basically like Jordan and Peele, they got their first 3 and then they did really well, and so they're like, okay, we'll fund you for more,
amazing.
right?
They hit it.
And so that was kind of his first 3, but one of them was like, this is before weed was legalized in California. And the whole premise of the episode was like, what if weed was legalized in California? And so like and basically that was the whole thing. You walk outside and there's 12-year-olds smoking bongs out in the middle of the road. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. And so that was super, super fun, especially because in the end of that episode, they have like this, he smokes weed for the first time, or the comedian does. And I'm like he has like a bad trip, like it's like a psychedelic, and it's like I'm like his nightmare fluid. It's like they had me like screaming into the camera all eerie and stuff. It's hilarious, dude, and all like the warped colors and everything. It becomes a horror movie at the end of that one. Now that I know we were talking about horror movies, so that one's actually hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's called Nothing's Easy Dope, uncensored on Comedy Central.
On where? Comedy Central.
Yeah.
How long is it? Short?
It's like 5 minutes. Yeah. It's
okay.
like a 5 minute, just super digestible. Yeah.
Did you see yourself becoming like the next greatest, like winning awards?
So, yeah, no, okay, I know it sounds super egotistical, but you ever feel like you wake up and you're just like, I'm meant for more than not other people, but I'm just meant for more. Like I want to do something for myself that leaves an imprint on the world that other people will look at and smile and say, wow, he was great.
Do you think you were born that way, or do you think you came to that conclusion?
That gets into like nature versus nurture. I have no idea. I don't think my parents pushed me in any which way to be something great. I think that my parents have always been super supportive in anything that I've tried to do. So it's not like they were talking down on me whenever I did want to do something like that was above, I think I've always been super competitive though, and always really aimed at just like winning. I think winning has always been a really big part of my life, just trying to win. And it's not, you have to be a good loser to be able to win, you know?
Ooh,
And
quote
so,
that.
yeah, I mean, well, winning is, you're going to lose if you're trying to win, you know what I mean? Like, you will lose sometimes, and it's about,
That's
like,
so true. And the more
tackling the
times that you
losses.
try, the more losses you accumulate because
Yeah.
you're simply trying more.
Exactly. And it's so simple, though, because losses are lessons, and if you take those lessons, it's like I was telling you, Tucker. It's like I was saying earlier, though, if you can just overcome setbacks, then literally just implement, and then you get a setback, you overcome it, and then implement. You know what I mean? You just literally keep doing that and rinse and repeat, and it'll happen.
What's the hardest setback you've ever had?
My parents divorcing, probably. No, that sounded so cringe, though. But that
I
was
don't
just
think so.
like that, because so I say that, I feel like a lot of people, their parents divorce, and it's like the worst thing. It's not the end of the world. It didn't, like, I think when it happened, I was forced to move back to LA, so like that's what forced me. Well, that's why I moved back to LA. So my dad still lives in LA. My mom lives here in Texas, and so I moved back with my mom. And then, like I said, I don't have access to those like day-to-day gigs and stuff like that that I would otherwise have if I lived in LA and stuff like that. And so also just like going from, like, I had just recently worked on Cartoon Network at the time, and like just you go from finally having a friend group in California, because like I said, so I was really antisocial and had zero friends by the time I was a freshman in high school, because
Why?
for 6th and 7th grade of my life, I had nobody but my father to talk to. I didn't have friends, you know what I mean? Like, I moved to LA, I didn't go to public school, I was doing online schooling, and so I literally just had my dad. And so for me, not only did I just have my dad, but every other kid that I saw, I was competing against for the same role. So it was I was in a very competitive like mindset for like 3 years of my life, where like it was hard for me to make friends with other kids my age, because like anytime I saw them, we were in the same lobby waiting to get our name called to go audition for a part. You know what I mean? And so,
Bro,
and you
what?
see some of the same kids for a role, and sometimes they get it versus you, and sometimes you get it versus them, and like it's all like, I think I've always had a good attitude about it, like since day one, to not like really like think badly of other people, especially
Yeah.
when you're competing, because at the end of the day, it's competition. You know what I mean? We're all working to make it, and so that's how it should be. You know, that's how you
Yeah.
breed better people.
Parents divorced,
Yes.
child actor, not toxic environment, but competitive environment with your friends. You feel you have no friends.
Well, I had no friends. I literally
Literally.
I did not have friends. No, I just
And you
didn't.
just
I
felt-
didn't talk to anyone my own age. I had YouTube, and I had my lines.
Yeah.
That was like basically, and so like I mean,
My lines.
yeah, literally, and
Doing a lot of lines.
yeah, a lot of lines as a 12-year-old. But yeah, so it was just not the best environment for a young kid trying to develop himself, you know? And while I did love it, and at the time I didn't know the difference, I didn't know anything was wrong, you know what I mean? And so I realized, though, when I went as a freshman in high school, I went to public school in Los Angeles. And so
Yeah.
at that point, my mom and my brother had moved back from Texas up here. So everyone was all together, the whole family was there, and we both went to public school. And I remember, like, freshman year of high school, I had no social skills. I was borderline just a pathological liar to people, because I had no idea.
Whoa.
I had no idea who I was. I would just lie to, like, make small lies up to impress people, like,
Whoa.
all the time.
One of those kids.
Yeah, no, literally one of those kids, exactly. And no wonder people didn't really like me all that much. And so, like, it took a while for me to just adjust to like the regular social norms, because I was always trying to compete with other kids my age, and like
That's crazy.
It was just
'Cause you're so
it was like
nice.
culture shock, right? And so through that, I made some really cool friends who hated me at first, who really just did not like me at all, but they were my age, and we were all super cool, and eventually like I just learned like how kids act with each other, you know what I mean, which was a little bit different than what I was used to for the past 3 years, you know. And so now these guys are my best friends. Like, I call them every day, like we talk all the time. But yeah, I was so antisocial and had no idea what I was doing with myself when I was a freshman in high school. And so to go from that to having like your best friends finally all of a sudden, you're working on like Nickelodeon, you're working on Cartoon Network, on Chrono Minds, like all this type of stuff.
That's
like
crazy.
it's really awesome. And yeah, so everything was going really good for me, and then boom, parents divorced. And like I said, that's not like that I feel like sometimes people overplay that aspect of their lives, because a lot of people have divorced parents. A lot of people have worse situations than people with divorced parents, and so I tend to sympathize with that. But for me personally, it removed me from my friend group, my like first real set of friends. It removed me from the place that was providing me all the work that I wanted. Like all my it felt like my dreams were just yanked away from me. You know what I mean? And so going from that to living with my grandparents back in Texas until my mom could find an apartment, and then still having to go to school and stuff, and then going back to school with people that I didn't really know or like to begin with, you know what I mean? And so it was just a lot of bad shit. And then boom, I honestly, I booked Daybreak, and it was like my life changed. And you know what's crazy about Daybreak is, for me, it has a lot of like personal significance because it came out on my 18th birthday, which was like a lot. It was like a signifying, like, you became an adult, you did that. But also, it was weird because it was based off of Glendale, California, which was the high school that I went to in Daybreak was my rival high school in LA. And so, yeah, so it was really weird that like it was like worlds collide.
Were you filming in the school?
No, we filmed in New Mexico, but they modeled the school and everything like that. And so,
Whoa.
I remember there's a mall called the Glendale Galleria in California, and the show was based off Glendale, they did a lot of promotions and had like a bunch of apocalypse trucks, because it's a high school zombie apocalypse show. So they had like a bunch of apocalypse trucks and like fake blood on the windows at this mall, like everywhere representing the show. And so my friends were at this mall like taking pictures, and there's like me on like pictures and stuff, and like all my castmates and stuff were on like the elevators, and it was all super, super cool. And so it's crazy how like everything comes around full circle, you know what I mean? I don't know. So like Daybreak, I think my
Wait, how old are you again?
21.
Oh.
21.
No. During Daybreak.
Oh, I was 17 when I was filming, 18, like I said, came out on my 18th birthday. So, yeah.
And wait, so the money, this is like my biggest question about how this industry works. Like with the money, when you were 12 and you were making money from these gigs, how does that work?
So your parents get a portion of it, right? There's an account, a bank account called a Coogan account, and the percentage might have changed, but 15% of everything that a child actor makes goes into that account, and that only that person can access it when they turn 18.
15%?
15%. So
the 85% is up to the parents?
Yes, technically.
Whoa.
Technically speaking,
Up
yes.
until they're 18?
Well, if they've spent it all by then no. My parents, I was very fortunate enough to where my parents didn't really need the money that I was making, and they were able to still, and they kind of set it up as a nest egg for me and just saved everything, which is what I did now. Like that's what I did. I didn't spend any of my money. I didn't get anything super cool. I think I lied to my friends when I lied to my friends in the Woodlands when I booked Daybreak. I told them I was getting a Corvette and stuff. And so for my brother's 15th birthday, we rented a Corvette for him. And so I took a bunch of flex pics with this Corvette and sent it to all my boys and said I bought a Corvette with my Netflix money. But I totally didn't.
Were you making that kind of money though?
I paid for like the majority of my college and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely helped, and I have money saved, and I have like some investments and stuff set up for like long-term stuff that I just won't touch for now.
That's
just
great.
Because and right now I live off of every dollar that I make, you know. Right now I work at a restaurant. Like I have no boundaries as to like how my earning capacity is going to be, you know.
Yeah.
And
I love this term, and I've heard it not in a way of struggling. I mean, there's so many, all artists or like you are at the beginning. In the beginning could be 20 years. I mean, who knows? Like, in a way, struggling. It's like you're always, like, fighting. Like, you know what I'm saying? To stay, like, every artist, until you get, like, those breaks. And it
Until
gets
you get
easier.
traction where
Well, you know what I mean?
people
Like,
want to
everyone
buy
who
it,
makes
yeah.
music, they talk about how they were, like, a struggling artist or a starving artist. You know, not actually, but it's like,
No,
in
but
a way.
sometimes-
I mean,
in
even
some
this right
cases,
now,
yes,
it's like, I feel like
literally.
I'm working to, like, put stuff like this on, like this podcast. Like, is it going to get 1,000 views? I'm not making any money from this right now.
Right.
I mean, I want to in the future, but right now it's, you know, some days I don't work. I just don't stop working until I go to sleep. There's so much going on.
Right, exactly.
you're
And
not
you
getting
can't
paid.
even put an hourly on that. It's not like you're getting paid X amount of dollars an hour to do that. You're just trying to do this so that way you can gain traction and do something that you like. And then once people start catching on and they like it too, you're set, you know?
Yeah,
and then you
you're
have people
set.
that want to come work for you and set all this stuff up for you, so you're not doing it. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. Thank you, Kurt, for the help, bro. Yeah, Chris.
That's funny.
That's not good.
Not yet, Kurt.
He's a G. He's a Jew. He's a Jew. I just said he is a Jew. He's a G.
He's a G.
I just got canceled. So wait, that's crazy. So the guy in, why am I forgetting his name? Home Alone. What's his name?
Macaulay Culkin.
So like, how many? He was making millions.
I'm sure
So
he's at least
technically,
making millions. Yeah.
His parents were getting to choose what to do with 85% of that.
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure exactly when that account was established, but I think at the time, I could be dead wrong, and I don't want to say anything super confidently if I'm absolutely wrong. But I think there wasn't anything in like any like stipulation set up for like protection for the minor in case that happened at the time. And so I think that like his parents went and spent, I don't know what they spent it on, probably like not like assets. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that's tough.
So yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, I do know that there was a point in his life where he didn't have much money, you know, and I don't know if he was homeless or on the street or anything like that, but I know that like his parents definitely stole a large sum of the money. So
wow,
I wouldn't say stole. I mean, technically they were getting it, you know, so like they were getting paid it. But you know, at the same time, like I don't know how I'd feel if my parents were to spend like be like, oh, you know, like yeah, you've been working since you were 12 years old, but we don't really have much for you besides the 15%. That'd be kind of frustrating, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But your parents, you felt like that it was good. You got.
Oh, my parents have always been extremely transparent with me. I think that's why
great.
I'm able to keep a budget now, is because I've always been familiar with how much I'm making, how much I should be saving, how much I should be
that's dope.
Putting in accounts that I don't have to touch for a while. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So.
But you're working at a restaurant right now. So you're out of college, no more school.
Looking for full-time jobs right now. With my degree.
But the dream is to be full-time acting. Of course.
I always feel like I like to say you're always 1 gig away. You know what I mean? Like you're always 1 gig away from like just getting your big break, you know? And I've had like I said, I've been on gigs that are like, you'd say they're like, wow, he's been on Netflix, he's been on he's been on this type of stuff. But it's, to me personally, it doesn't feel like I've done like all that much. You know what I mean? Maybe because I've been doing it like my whole life. Honestly, I feel like I've digressed since I've graduated college, just because I don't have a full-time job. I'm looking for like full-time positions. I don't have any acting work in the pipeline right now. Like, so sometimes you just have to like sit down and relax and take a deep breath, because like it might feel like you're not moving forwards, but as long as you're constantly learning and improving and trying to up your game in whatever fashion, I think ultimately you'll end up finding something that'll work for you, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of how I keep myself saying this, like I'm 1 gig away, and I'll keep acting till I'm like 60 or 70, dude. I don't care. Like,
that was my next
this
question.
is a long-term game, bro. If I don't really make my big break until I'm 80 years old, I don't care, dude. I just love doing it, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
So
it's so fun being on set. You should try it. Like honestly, you should.
So
try
you just, well, I'm about to say. So what is your goal? Is it to be making like tens of million bukus of money? Is it to be on your dream show, or is it just to like enjoy your life?
My goal is to be a filmmaker, like a movie maker. Like,
so not be an actor.
No, yes, but I want to act in my own movies.
Got it.
Kind of
okay.
like, so you know, okay.
So you would star
let's be real for a sec. You know Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
You know how he just puts all his friends in his movies?
No.
What? Like
No.
Chris Rock? Like
I don't watch many movies at all.
Really? Okay.
Or
So
TV
have you seen
shows.
Grown Ups?
Only YouTube.
Have you seen Grown Ups?
Yes.
So you've seen Grown Ups.
That's Max Bernardi's favorite movie, and he I've probably watched it like 6 times at this.
Yes. So you know, so all of those people, Kevin James, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, they're all in all of the Adam Sandler movies, right? My goal is to just basically have like me direct, produce, and I'll do all this stuff, and just have my friends play. Yes, exactly.
Bro, okay, that same mentality is what I'm trying to do, like in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's just I want to make something that I love doing, that makes consequentially makes a lot of money doing it, but have my friends do it with me.
Bro, that's
Like,
exactly
yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
it.
what I imagine. Like I imagine like somehow me and my 10 friends, and then even acquaintances, are like we're all,
and everyone
can
got
participate
something working for them. Yeah.
in this business. See, like you want to make movies, that's dope.
Yeah, and like there's steps to get there, and then I want to start my own business. I don't know exactly what, but I do want to start. I've done I kind of do what Max does right now. Maybe not to the extent that he does it. I have a lot of respect for Max. He's crazy, and his videos are insane, and he's super talented. But yeah, I have freelanced through college. I also served like at restaurants through college. I worked at the athletics department in college to film and do social media for like their athletic stuff, and so I've had a lot of like work in the space, but I'm more into the filmmaking aspect rather than short form content. But I know that right now that's what's just killing the game, you know, is short form content and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and all that stuff.
Yeah, they are kind of less fun to make. In
Yes,
my opinion, you got to tell a story. You got to tell a story in a tenth of the time.
I completely agree. For me, I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to the stuff that I want to post and I want to do. And so if it's not like up to that standard, which in consequence, because you have to make so much quantity of short form content in order to like you sacrifice quality, you know. And so I'm a big quality over quantity type of guy.
So you want to make movies, and act in them. So you'd be the director and actor. What else? You say producer?
Yeah, I mean that's just because
What does
you
that,
have the
what does that even mean?
people who fund it, the people who fund the movie.
Oh, that's what producing means?
You produce.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I thought producing meant...
They're the money bringers,
like
and they
the
also
company
get
that does
they
the
also
editing
get
and
no. That's
the
like
production.
post production. So that's like post production stuff.
Oh,
so
the
like
producers are not in production.
they're the ones that get that walk around with suits and get to say we don't like this, we do like this, and their reasoning is they funded the project. So they are the ones that have a lot of the say so.
But they're not the director?
No.
So you
No,
want to
the
be able to
director-
fund it, your own movie, direct
Yes.
it. That way, if you're supplying the money, then you can...
Yeah.
boss
Then you
it.
ultimately have all the say so.
You have
right?
all of the charge of the
Kind of
movie.
like Jordan Peele, right? He's like a producer, yeah.
Exactly.
He does a lot. Too.
Exactly.
That's dope. I didn't know he was
An
a producer.
auteur.
And then be, what, the main role?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ultimately, that's the goal.
That's crazy, bro. That's sick. So you want to make your own movies,
Yes.
fund the project, so that way you can be the lead actor and decide everything that happens.
Yeah,
Be
basically.
a top G.
But I want them to be good movies, not bad movies. You know what I mean? Like probably
of
better
course,
than
yeah.
Grown Ups. Even though I love Grown Ups, that's a funny
Oh,
movie.
like-
I like serious movies. I like movies that make you think.
Okay, me too.
Really?
Me too.
You said
Yeah.
you don't watch a lot of movies. So like,
I don't, but that would be a reason to get me to go watch a movie. Like,
Okay.
If it's not even a deep movie, I always am trying to make it deep. Like if I went to go see the new Barbie movie right now, I would be trying to think like, what are they really trying to say?
I heard that they made it really deep as far as like political concepts.
That's what I
like,
heard,
yeah. So if
So
if you wanted to go see the Barbie movie and really look for stuff, I'm sure there's a bunch of
Okay.
glaringly obvious stuff
Okay.
that you can pick out
Okay.
of.
But yeah, I do like the movie, like the Matrix movie.
Oh yeah.
Or like movies like that. You know,
Have you
Red-
seen Oppenheimer,
like-
the new one?
No. Wait, how often do you see people that you know that are on TV?
Somewhat frequently. Actually,
Wow,
somewhat
that's
frequently.
weird.
It's which
Weird.
is really weird. So there's
Is it weird to used to it?
It's
Like,
mainly
oh, I know that guy.
commercials. So there's some people.
But do you freak out though when you see like, oh?
I'll text them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like there's this movie in theaters right now called The Hill. It's a baseball movie.
Okay.
This guy named Colin Ford. He was the main character on Daybreak. I went to go see Oppenheimer and I saw the poster for it. And so I texted him. I was like, "Yo,
That's
so
hype.
sick."
That's hype. Bro, well, if not to invite myself, but if you ever make a movie, bro, I would love to help.
Oh
with
yeah,
that
sure.
project.
I'll give you a role. You'll
That'd
be
be
like
so
the
sick,
you'll be
bro.
like the news anchor. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
dude, that'd be sick, right?
Dude, yeah. That's such a cool dream.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So the way to shift topics, but I met you or knew of you through Ryan Grimm. Also, I think Ryan Lunn. Just like seeing
Yeah,
stuff. But-
just mutual
so
friends
How
and stuff.
did you know them?
So
How did you know Ryan?
So that's actually a really funny story. When I was in high school, you ever been in a fight, Grayson?
No.
Never been in a real
No.
fight. So I was in
I
one
diffused them.
one
I
really.
just flex and they walk away. You know?
Oh yeah. They just don't want the smoke.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Well, I
I'm
couldn't do
undefeated.
when I was in a sophomore in high school. I was a little pudgy kid. I could not just flex and make them scared. I just had to deal with it. But so there, I was telling you about my group of friends in California, right? One of them, sophomore year, they weren't all the best kids at the time. They're all great now, but we were all, young,
Sophomore year?
young shitheads. You know how they do things.
I like
And,
how this is how you met these guys.
Oh yeah, no, this is talking about Grim and everyone. This is wait till I get into this. So there's
You beat him up?
No, so basically one of our friends was really like nobody liked him. He was basically just getting kicked out of the friend group type thing. Well, no, for good reason too.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I don't want to get into all that, but just for good reason. And so instead of like just leaving with Grace, he like picked on me and like wanted to fight me all of a sudden. And I'm the aggressor, and I did all this stuff. And so I got jumped in high school by like I remember me and my best
In the
friend
Woodlands?
Blake. No. This is in California. So
Oh.
in California, we had open lunch policy, right? Which meant we could go
Oh,
to
that's sick.
like Walgreens for lunch as long as we came back to fifth period.
Walgreens?
Yeah, that's where we would go. I'd go to
Walgreens?
Yeah, it's right up the street, bro. We just go to like the 7-Eleven,
Get
you know?
some-
It'd be Walgreens,
some
7-Eleven, or the
Meds,
French
some Xanax?
bakery. No. They had like candy and like soda and stuff, you know? I remember after me and that guy had an argument, the next day at lunch, I'm looking across the street at like where they normally hang out called the French Bakery. It was like just a bakery place. And there's like 30 guys and Cameron, the kid. We'll call him Dave. We'll cut that name out.
yeah.
We'll call him Dave. So Dave. so me and my friend Blake, who we can't say his name, are like walking out of Walgreens, and there's like 30 dudes and Dave staring at me, and they start sprinting across the street, like 30 guys, bro.
But
And
Grim
so-
comes out of nowhere.
no, no. We're not there yet. So I'm running back to the school with Blake, and the next, basically they caught up to me. They like threw a few punches at me. I was like, I'm gonna snitch. They were like, no, don't snitch. I was like, okay, then we're gonna fight tomorrow 1-on-1, and we're gonna take care of this. Otherwise, I'm snitching. And so the next day, during lunchtime, I fought him, and the fight went viral. I'm a first degree black belt in Tong Soo Do, and so which Kurt
That's what
knows
it
this.
was.
Yeah.
Tong Soo
So, yeah. So, I did a really cool. I'll throw the clip up because I want that's awesome. You'll think it's awesome too. I hope.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm
But
excited to see this.
I did a spinning heel kick on this guy and it hit him in the face, and it was posted on like Hood Clips. It was featured on iFunny. It was on like World Star.
Did
It
he know
just
you
went
knew how to
viral. Yeah, he did too though, but he was really bad, which is besides the point. Point is, this fight went viral, right?
Did you knock him out?
For like 3 seconds, he was on the ground. Yeah, but that fight went viral. It got like local news coverage, and so when I moved back, I met with Christian Bustamante.
Oh yeah.
Who we had played PlayStation. Like I had played PlayStation with him.
James knows him well too.
Yeah, and so we were just playing PlayStation and stuff, and I was like, oh, I just moved back. Like, and he was like, you should just come over. Like, we should meet and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went over.
How'd you
and
meet him? How'd you connect?
one of my friends before I moved to LA was his name was Gabe, and Gabe knew Christian, and so me, Gabe, and Christian would play video games all the time, just on PlayStation and stuff. And so when I moved back, I was like, okay, cool, time to meet Christian. And Christian was like, oh, this guy Grim, he lives down the street. Like, he's super cool. You should let him come over. And so Grim came over, and we were talking yada yada. And Grim, I forgot how it came up, but I think I brought up the fight, and Grim was like, "No way!" He was like, "That's you, bro." He's like, "That's so sick." And so we instantly, like, Christian and Grim had known that was me from the fight video, and so that like kind of got me into like the know. Like, that's how I kind of met everybody. It was like, oh, this guy's been in a sick ass fight. Like, check the clip out. Like, it was super sick.
Roll the clip.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, we'll definitely roll the clip.
Yeah, I'll send the clip over. It's cool. I have like 8 different. You actually want to see it real quick just for reference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I've definitely seen that.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, play it again?
Yeah, that's me.
That's insane. Did you knew you were gonna throw that kick?
No.
So you destroyed this guy. Ryan already knew the video, saw the video.
Yeah. And he came over, and we were just shooting the shit and just having a good time. And basically then, yeah, I went over to Ryan's crib, met Lon and everyone like that. And so ever since then, yeah, I've just been in the know with like the people here. Just because of that. Like, that alone got me. Also, that, like I was telling you, like, nobody really liked me freshman year of high school. Like, that gave me all of the social status I needed in high school. Like, there were people that had no idea who they were. Like, and I shit you not. Like, I ran back, because this was during lunch that we fought. So, like, we have class right after this, bro. And, dude, my class was right across the hall from his, too, which was so funny. Because I remember I ran back to the school, and a cop car pulls up. And he rolls the windows down, and he stops me, and he's like, what's going on over there? Because he saw there's a bunch of people. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I think there's a fight or something going on over there. I was like, I don't know. You should go, like, check that way, bro. And so the cop drives off, and I just sprint back to school. And I get back in 5th period, and, like, I'm walking in 5th period, and there are people that I had no idea who they were. They're like, dude, you're the man. They're like, that was so sick. They're like, that's awesome. And so, like, my entire, like, high school, like, what would you say, like, reputation just went up, like, about 10 points.
Bro,
just
that I know that feeling because this year in a college football game, I ran on the field after the game and got chased. And I had a video of it, and then I posted it, and then... Anyway, the next day, like, people who had, like, barely remembered, like, bro, I saw that video of you running on the field. Like, and it was, like, it felt like it was, like, so overwhelming.
What was that like? What was the aftermath of that like? Like, were there any consequences? Because I've seen the video. You've done it multiple times.
Yeah. No, there was none.
Oh, really?
I think it's a college football game. If it's, like, NFL, I think that's a lot different.
Yeah.
I don't know. They grabbed me and brought me to the side, and I thought I was getting arrested. So I was like, crap. I finally got arrested. Because I'm telling myself, I'm just like...
You think it's just a title for the YouTube video, right? You're like, I finally got arrested. You're like...
Clickbait. No, but they just like pushed me off the field, like onto the stairs to get out, and they didn't say anything.
Oh.
Like, they just like were grabbing me forcefully, and I was like,
I don't think you should say that out there in the public, because then you're just going to entice a lot of people to go do the same thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life, though.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe other people should try it at home.
I mean, if you're not... I mean, it was after the game. It
You have to
wasn't
be fast,
disturbing
though.
anyone.
You have to
Yeah,
be really
have to
fast. Okay, yeah.
Well, the only reason I really got tackled was because a player on the other team that lost shoved me over. So, like, I lost my...
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you guys make up? I think
like, I was going around and he wasn't
going to
catch
or
me.
something, right?
What?
You guys made up in the DMs or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I definitely saw that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
super
DM'd
cool.
him, roasting him because he shoved me, and then he was like sent back a Bible verse. I was like, wait, what? And then we like kept talking, and I just like, I just pretended like he didn't shove me, and we just started talking. It was really nice, really nice.
That's awesome.
Like really nice. So yeah, that's that. I'm just saying I know how you feel from like that going viral and.
Oh
everything,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Wait, so what ended up happening? You go back to class?
Oh
Did you get in
yeah, I
trouble
went
for
back to
this?
class, and then I went through 5th period. Nobody really knew. Well, everybody knew besides the teachers. And then I went to 6th period, and the same cop who had pulled up on me during the fight and asked me like what was going on. He came into my classroom, was like, he was looking at me, was like, Andrew, and I was like yeah.
Dude, you're a legend for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the most legendary things I've ever done. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell my kids about it. It'd be super cool.
Definitely show them that.
Yeah. Now nobody wants to mess with me. No, I'm just joking.
I do want to learn of fighting.
I can teach you spinning heel kick.
Yes.
Yeah, I can teach. It's
I
really.
want to
easy,
learn
dude.
how to fight. I feel like that's
It's like 2 steps, 1, 2, and it's like.
So do you feel like you could confidently fight anyone relative to your size?
Yeah, relatively my size.
Like on the street?
I don't like fighting. I really.
Yeah.
I've only been in 2
But
fights.
do you feel like
before.
that you have that card in your pocket? Like,
Yeah.
I could beat your ass.
I've had to do it before. Like not like, and I'm not super violent, but I've had to defend myself before. Like
Yeah.
I've been on 6th Street too late before. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
when I was saying this, I was imagining 6th Street.
yeah, no, literally, I've had like
6th
6th Street has happened before,
kinda
and
crazy.
people get crazy. Yeah, and so, as long as, for me, it's like I just don't want anyone that I'm with to get hurt. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I just don't. Also, I just don't like violence, man. Why do people got to be violent? You know?
Yeah, no,
like,
I agree.
Because it's like. Yeah, I just like being able to defend myself, you know?
Yeah,
if
no,
the
that's what I
opportunity
want
were
to
to
learn.
arise, I'm going to be able to protect the people that I care
Yeah.
about, you know, my friends.
I feel that if you're a man that is not only like physically fit, but you know how to fight, I feel like your word is like worth almost twice.
Yeah.
In my head, because
Because you're able to...
defend the
Yes.
defend the word,
Yeah.
and I've heard people like make a case for why that is, and I mean, back pre-modern, before now, like all of human history, I mean, you had to fight to stand up
To
for
claim
anything. You had to be
anything. Yeah,
willing
exactly.
to like fight someone for it. So yeah, I just think that's something I want to learn. So that's cool that you know. So wait, what do you know how to do? What
Tong Sudo. It's like a
Never heard
South
of that.
Korean martial art.
Tung Sudo?
They teach it here. You can learn here. Mr.
Tung
Ince.
Sudo. And what is that? What's the difference between that and karate, jiu-jitsu?
I would say
Muay Thai?
it's extremely it's not ground fighting. There's like zero ground fighting. It's mainly just like self defense on your feet. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of kicks. There's a lot of I would say it's extremely similar to karate. It's nothing super intense, but it definitely teaches you the fundamentals. You know, to like where you could. And also, like, spinning heel kick, like that, the one I did in the video, that was just super flashy. That's like a super flashy move.
Yeah.
You really ultimately wouldn't do that unless you're in the cage. You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
that's
so
not
were you planning in your head?
Oh, dude, I was in the shower that night, like before the fight, and I was like, because they had jumped me the day before, and so I was in the shower that night, just thinking like,
shower.
what? I was going through the Mortal Kombat textbook, bro. I was like, what am I gonna do to this kid? Because I was so
Are you
confident.
nervous, or are you just like, I'm gonna destroy him?
I was so ready to destroy him, dude. Because I weighed a little. I think we weighed about the same. He was a little bit taller, but I just knew that like he was like a paperweight, bro. This kid was just a stick. So I was like, I could kind of do whatever.
Dude.
And he was picking a fight with me, which was even more fun for like me. Because
Yeah.
it's like I have nothing to prove here. You know what I mean? And so
You don't feel bad then.
I don't feel bad at all. No, it was honestly awesome. Yeah, I wonder how he is today. I hope he's doing good. You know, I still have the shoe that I hit him. You know, I have the singular shoe. Yeah.
That's fire.
And I have the whole outfit too. It's like honestly, I should just get like a shadow box and have it like as like my Batman armor stand. You know,
Yeah.
just like put like that PacSun T-shirt and the Volcom shorts and
Yeah.
like the Adidas kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. Bro, before we wrap this up, we probably have 5 more minutes, but I just want to touch on who is your biggest inspiration for what you want to do in your life? Like, why do you want to be different and not have a normal job or have a normal life? What has inspired you?
I think it's important to recognize that when you compare yourself to other people, because you have to compare yourself to other people in order to like monitor how you're doing, and you can compare yourself to yourself as well. But I think, I just think what's inspiring for me is finding people who do what they want and do it the right way and do it without like scamming other people. You know.
Just talking about what has, I guess I kind of touched on it, or we kind of touched on it earlier about what made you start wanting to be different, and
Yeah.
you said you woke up one day and just thought you were meant for more.
I think that honestly, yeah. I mean, ever since I can remember, I think it's just been, I've always been super competitive and always aimed to win.
Yeah.
And so as you get older, the things that you win are not games of hide and seek, and they're
Yeah.
not games of tag, but instead it's how do you win more money than, not than any other person, but how do you win more money than you did previously? How do you set yourself up to where you can you can live and do what you want to do and be happy and financially feasible, and make all that work. Because it's hard. It's hard to do that. I feel like it's hard for someone to really do what they want to do and make it work for themselves to where they can make a living doing it. And I don't need, my end goal for myself is not to just have the most money in the world and to have a crazy big yacht. My goal is to have enough money to do what I want to do and not have to worry about going broke doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
if I just had a house for me and my kids, the only thing that I really, really want that's super financially, that's strictly based around finance is like a really nice car. I want like a Porsche or something one day.
Yeah.
And that's just a toy that I want, But other than that, there's not really any other like crazy financial goals that I have for myself other than to have a company that like will accumulate generational wealth for me and my family, But that's like something that doesn't have to do with like buying a yacht or anything. That's something that you have to build systems that will actually last and outlast you and your kids and the kids after them. You know what I mean? And so that takes a lot of thought and effort.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Generational wealth.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about many people saying that that's what they want to create.
Well, I think that's a big goal, and it's almost unattainable. But when you see people who have done it, and you meet people who have generational wealth, and some people, they've had it from their parents. Some people have done it for themselves. I haven't met many people that have done it for themselves, but I've met a lot of people who have it from their parents. And so it's about, I think it's critical to realize that in order to set up generational wealth, it's about making sure that you actually have like financial literacy. And I think that that's something that isn't really talked about much nowadays. Like, everyone wants to be rich. Everyone, like, I'm sure you get the ads too about like, you want to learn how to drop ship? Do you want to learn how to make a bunch of money online? Everyone wants to learn how to make 10K a month online. It's ridiculous, right? It's, what do you do with that 10K in order to get 100K a month or $1 million a month, if that's even possible, And there are companies that do that, like huge companies, but you have to get there first, And so, I don't know. I definitely have a long way to go in my journey through that. But like I said, right now, like I even touched on the fact that I feel like I've digressed after college, but that's okay because like not everything is straight up, Like you're going to go up, you're going to go down as long as you just keep a level head and are always learning and taking inspiration from other people who are doing it too. And if you can just do that and keep learning, it's all about aligning yourself up for that lucky opportunity,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Where do you want to be in, I guess, more short term? Well, here, this will be interesting. Obviously, you know who Mr. Beast is, the YouTuber, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen his videos where he's like, "Hi, me in 5 years. Hi, me in
Yes,
10 years."
I have.
Yeah. Okay, bro, do one right now. Talk to yourself in 5 years. Look at the camera, and what do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in your life? Talking to future Andrew. How old will you be? 26?
26. I already have some goals for myself by the time I'm 26. For me it's 27 just because that's the number, but 27-year-old Andrew is going to have at least $500,000 at least. That's not just because I want like a nice car, a nice house or anything like that. That's just because I think if I can accumulate that much money at the age of 27, then I will know what to do in my 30s to make multiple millions of dollars,
Yeah.
And that's a big goal, and it's honestly not as clear-cut as it may seem. I mean, a lot of people, sometimes they can sit down and just, like, it seems so easy for some people, But it's really not. It's not that easy to just come up and build something from the ground up that, like, lasts,
Definitely
But
not easy.
I've definitely I feel like, sometimes I often feel like I think too much, but,
You have to have 500K.
500K.
To be happy.
I'll always be happy. I'm pretty
There
easygoing.
you go.
I don't think I'll ever not be happy. I want to keep acting. Obviously, I want to win. I don't know when this will happen, but I want an Oscar. That's what I want. One day
Nice.
I will have an
Nice.
Oscar.
Nice.
That's the way
There
to
you
put
go.
it. Yeah.
It's
And I've
hard
been
to-
saying that since I was like 13 years old.
Let's go.
And what's crazy is when I was 13, I was like, by the time I'm 20, I'm gonna have an Oscar. And here I am at 21, and I'm like, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna have an Oscar. And then I'm gonna be like, by the time I'm 40, I have an Oscar. So we're gonna keep chasing that dream until it happens.
Keep chasing it, bro. That's dope.
Hell yeah.
Bro, well, I think that about wraps it up. I thank you for being an inspiration to me. First time meeting you in person.
Yeah.
I
This
feel
is
like
super
I've been filled up by what you're saying. So thanks for coming on here, bro. You did great. I can tell you've been on camera before. I feel like I've learned a lot from watching you, even from when we went outside. Like, the camera comes on, it seems like you know what you're doing.
Oh, no, it's not even that. I mean, I've just been on camera so often that it really doesn't make a difference. I think...
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean...
The camera's scary, too. A lot of people, including me, I mean, I think it's kind of weird. It's like eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to think that someone's right there watching it, but I think that's the cool part is that they're
Yeah.
right here watching us
Yeah.
talk, and they can maybe learn a thing or two, or maybe even not learn a thing or two, maybe sit and laugh. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
As long as they sat here and enjoyed it. If you made it this far, give this video a like. I really appreciate it.
Smash that like
Grayson's
button,
busting his
smash-
ass to do this stuff, and he let me on, which is really nice of him. I loved it. You know.
Bro, well, thank you for coming on, and yeah, maybe we'll run another episode.
Oh,
back.
we definitely will. In the next couple months, I'm gonna have something going, and like we'll reconvene. And he's gonna be bald. He's gonna have gone monk mode. And
Monk mode.
Yes,
that
yeah.
could be a brand name, bro.
that is, yeah, no, definitely.
Monk mode,
Hell yeah.
All right, brother. Thank
Hell
you so
yeah.
much.
Thank you, Grayson.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.